Please stop acting like my wife. I only married you to send pictures to my parents so they would stop bothering me about my marriage. You're just a cheap prostitute. Yes, I am a prostitute. What does that matter to you? It's not a wedding. I'm here for a photo, right? I can do whatever I want. After all, it's my body. Shut up. It's not just your body, but mine too. I paid your dowry. My lovely husband is just angry tonight. Jennifer, will you marry me? What did you say? I'm sorry, I'm in love with you. Are you in love with me too? She picked him up and kissed. Jennifer is a poor orphan who lives alone on her parents' property. Her parents were very wealthy, but unfortunately, they did not leave a will for Jennifer. Jennifer's uncles and aunts took everything from her except an old house on the outskirts of town where she lives alone. She works for others and managed to finance her studies. Her uncles and aunts don't care about her. They don't even know if she is educated or not. All they want is money after misusing Jennifer's parents' property. They came to her house on the outskirts of town to take the house too. They told her that she had to marry a man of their choice to keep the house, but she refused this idea of marriage. Her uncles and aunts told her that no one would give her the house back. One night, her aunts and uncles brought thugs to chase her out of the house. She begged, but they refused. They told her that the only way to not take the house from her was if she agreed to marry the man of their choice. Because of this unnecessary pressure, she agreed to marriage. Unfortunately, her aunts and uncles don't marry her out of love, but just to make money for themselves. Newton, a charming and wealthy young man, married Jennifer and took her to his town. He paid his aunts and uncles a lot of money for the wedding. This marriage was not a marriage for them, but just a deal to sell her. Newton and Jennifer began their married life without knowing each other. They never had a discussion to get to know each other. Newton's company mass produces electrical devices and sells them in bulk. Newton is a successful young man, but unfortunately, he only values money, and he believes he can get anything he wants with his money. One evening, Jennifer initiated a conversation with Newton. She said goodnight and asked if they could get to know each other since he hadn't spoken much since she arrived. Newton responded that he was very busy because of the money his aunts and uncles had taken from him for the wedding, and that he needed to get it back. Jennifer responded, "I'm really sorry. I didn't know about it. Tell me about yourself. We will get to know each other since we didn't speak before the wedding." Newton replied, "I'm Newton. You already know that I'm your husband and a businessman." Jennifer replied with a smile, "I already know all that, but what do you like? What do you hate? And many other things." Newton replied that he only loved money and hated being poor. Jennifer found this strange and asked him what he didn't like around him, for example, dirt. Newton asked her if she was a detective. She said no, but she just wanted to know him better because they were married. Newton said, "Your uncle told me you were illiterate, but from your many questions, you seem different." Jennifer replied that since he was not comfortable talking to him, he should leave it there for tonight and postpone the conversation until tomorrow. "Good night." Newton replied, "Good night to you. Let's go to our room." Jennifer replied, "Which room? Since I came here, I've slept downstairs. You sleep upstairs. I don't even know your room, or I'm going upstairs." Newton said, "Let's go to your room and get your luggage, and then go up to our room." They both took Jennifer's bag and both slept in Newton's room. The next morning, when Jennifer woke up, she did not find Newton at home. She wondered if he had left for work early. She cleaned the house and prepared food for herself. When Newton returned in the evening, Jennifer asked him to go take a shower and come down to eat. He replied that he had already eaten out. Jennifer said she had already prepared a meal for him, and he responded, "Please stop acting like my wife. I only married you to send pictures to my parents so they would stop bothering me about my marriage." Jennifer replied, "So you brought me here just for photos?" Newton said, "Yes, that's why I asked you to come sleep in my room yesterday. I make videos to make them believe I have a wife." Jennifer replied, "Can I return to my village now?" Newton said, "No, my parents don't trust me. They will call me from time to time, and I need you by my side as my wife." Jennifer responded that she could not be part of this game, and that she had expectations as a married woman. Newton replied that he explained everything to his family, and that he paid a lot for her to be here. Jennifer asked him if he bought her or married her. Newton replied, "Yes, I did both." Jennifer asked her if he could open a business for her to keep her busy, but he said she didn't need to work because he could take care of her, and she could watch television at home when she was bored. She insisted on working in his office, but he said she was uneducated and could not work for him. She got upset and realized he was just using her to fool her parents with their bedroom photos. He asked her to come closer because his mother was calling him for a video. Immediately, his mother called and started talking with Jennifer, asking about the grandsons. Jennifer agreed and told his mother that she would give him grandsons. At the end of the conversation, Newton asked Jennifer why she agreed to have children. He told her she should have said no. Jennifer replied, "You asked me to play along. What else should I have said? You would have said no. I'm not ready to be a father or have children right now. When I'm ready, I will marry a woman from my class." She asked him if they were going to have children together, but Newton replied, "No, you already know why you're here." She responded that she couldn't be part of that and said she had expectations as a married woman. Newton replied, "Your hair is rough and your clothes look so old and ugly." Jennifer replied, "I will cut my hair tomorrow and buy new clothes when I find a job." With these words, she took her bags and went downstairs, while Newton slept alone upstairs. He gave her a lot of money so she could make herself beautiful and buy new clothes, but not to cut her hair. Jennifer took the money and put it back in Newton's room after he left for work. She said to herself, "Newton leaves very early in the morning and comes back late in the evening. I have my certificate with me. I will look for work during this time, and he will not know about it." She found a job in an electronics store as a saleswoman. That evening, when Newton came home from work, he was very hungry. He forgot to buy food when he got home. He went into the kitchen to see if Jennifer had prepared anything to eat. He found food and ate it in secret. "Wow, this food is delicious. I didn't know she could cook like that. If she can cook like that, I'll eat at home, but she'll start acting like my wife. I don't want that." He walked out of the kitchen so Jennifer wouldn't notice him and went back to his room. There he saw the money he had given Jennifer in the morning. He called her and she went upstairs. Newton asked, "Why is this money here, and why are you always like this?" Jennifer replied, "I don't need money from you. You don't even consider me your wife, and I don't consider you my husband either. No need to look good for anyone." Newton said, "I want you to look good because I always send your pictures to my parents and they complain of your outfit." Jennifer replied, "Give me the money. I'll buy something tomorrow and get my hair done, but I'll pay you back later." Newton said, "I want to see a change in you when I get home from work tomorrow." Jennifer said, "Okay, can I leave now?" Newton said, "It's your choice. If you want, you can sleep here or go to your room." Jennifer went to her room to sleep. The next morning, Newton left for work, and so did Jennifer. She made sure to close before Newton got home. She closed up, went to get her hair done, and bought some nice clothes. When Newton came home from work, he noticed he had forgotten his keys. Newton rang the doorbell, and Jennifer went to open it. He was speechless as he looked at her. Jennifer tells him, "Please come home. You've been here for over 3 minutes now." Newton replied, "Wow, what a beautiful figure. You are very beautiful." She replied, "Please come in. I want to go home. I'm busy watching a movie." Newton came in and looked at her as if he had never seen her before. "Please, Jennifer, serve me something to eat. I'm hungry." She replied, "When did you start asking for food? There is no food because you don't eat my food, so I didn't cook." Newton said, "Then prepare something for me. I will refresh myself." "Okay, I'll do something to you." She prepared instant noodles for Newton to eat that evening. Newton ate the noodles, but he just admired Jennifer. "I didn't know this girl was so beautiful. Her curves are well highlighted. I should focus on money, not women," he told himself. But Jennifer's beautiful face had captured his thoughts. He said, "When you finish watching your movie, come and spend the night in our room." Jennifer replied, "Sorry, I can't. I prefer to sleep here." Newton replied, "You have no choice. I'm your husband, and my word is final." She said, "Are you well today? You ate my food, and you remind me that you are my husband." Newton said, "I'll wait for you in the room when you're finished." She replied, "I'm not coming." Newton angrily turned off the television, went to her room, grabbed her bags, and dragged her upstairs to continue watching the movie in their room. He then said, "From now on, don't leave this room. It's our room. A husband and wife must stay in the same room." Jennifer replied, "I don't know what's happening to you tonight." Newton then said to him, "Turn off the television and sleep next to your husband." Newton forced Jennifer to sleep next to him, and they fell asleep in each other's arms. The next morning, Newton went to work, and Jennifer did the same. The two were wondering what was wrong. Newton wondered what was happening to him. He just needed a girl to take a photo with him to fool his parents, but he found himself attracted to Jennifer, which was not part of his plan. "I need to focus on my business instead of thinking about this girl coming into my house," he thought. For his part, Jennifer wondered what had gotten into Newton the day before. "He doesn't act like a husband. I hope I'm safe," she thought. Newton came home from work very early that day because he couldn't concentrate at work. He only thought of Jennifer. When he returned home, he did not find Jennifer at home. Maybe she had gone out to look for something in the neighborhood. 3 hours had passed since she returned from work, and Jennifer still hadn't returned. Newton was starting to get angry and agitated. He left his yard without knowing where to look for Jennifer. A flashing car stopped on the other side of the road. Newton saw her and went home angry, shaking his leg while waiting for Jennifer. When Jennifer entered the house, she was frightened when she saw Newton shaking his legs. Newton asked her where she was from, and she replied, "I went out to get something." Newton said, "Show me what you went to get." She replied, "I ate them on the way." Newton replied, "I didn't know that you were not only a liar, but also a prostitute." Jennifer replied, "Why are you insulting me?" Newton said, "A little shame. You're a married woman, my wife, and yet another man drops you off in front of our house." She replied, "Oh, that person just gave me a lift." Newton said, "Wow, do you expect me to believe that? You're just a cheap prostitute." She replied, "Yes, I am a prostitute. What does that matter to you? It's not a wedding. I'm here for a photo, right? I can do whatever I want. After all, it's my body." Newton said, "Shut up. It's not just your body, but mine too. I paid your dowry. You are my wife, my property. I own you." She replied, "Why are you so angry? You told me that when you wanted children, you would marry a girl from high society. So let me have fun." Newton said, "From now on, you won't go anywhere to buy anything. You will only go out when I accompany you. I don't trust you anymore." Jennifer replied, "You are too super protective. I'm not a prostitute and I never will be. Never give me that name. It is an insult to me." Newton said, "Let me believe you just for today and don't ever say that again. Go prepare something. From now on you will serve me lunch, dinner, so I won't eat outside anymore." Jennifer said, "I can do that. It's no problem." Jennifer prepared and served him, but he refused to eat alone. The two of them ate together and slept together. It had been a month, and Newton always came home in the afternoon and didn't find Jennifer at home. He kept everything to himself and had decided to dedicate a day to follow her in order to catch her in the act. The next morning, Newton left the house and waited outside in his car. Jennifer went out and got into a taxi, and Newton followed the taxi to find out where she was going each day. The taxi stopped, Jennifer got out and entered a store. Newton stopped, got out, and went to the store. He saw Jennifer working as a saleswoman in the store. He stood in the corner and observed her before leaving. When he got home, he said to himself, "I thought she was cheating on me, but she just works. I'm glad I didn't confront her." He went home to rest, feeling very tired from stressing out about Jennifer cheating on him. Now he is at peace. Jennifer came home from work that evening and saw Newton's car outside. She said to herself, "I'm in big trouble." She went to their room to drop off a bag. Newton asked, "Where are you from?" "Don't tell me you went out to buy something because I've been here since this morning, but you weren't there." Newton said, "I have a headache. I went home to have my wife take care of me, but you weren't there. Please tell me where you went." Jennifer replied, "Do you still have a headache? Let me get you some medicine." Newton replied, "I'm fine now. I've already taken medicine. Please don't change the subject. Where did you go?" Jennifer replied, "I'm sorry, but you won't be happy if I tell you." Newton said, "If you don't tell me the truth, I'll leave this house and never come back." Jennifer replied, "Please don't say that. Don't think I'm with other men. I'm just working to earn my own money. If I stay at home, my degree will be useless." Newton replied, Why should my wife work like a hired girl? Jennifer replied, I'm a graduate, and why do you always call me your wife like you really mean it? How did you know I was working as a hired girl? Newton moved closer to her head and said, You are my wife, I know. At first it was just for photos and video calls to fool my parents, but it's more than that now. I'm in love with you, Jennifer. I don't know when or how it happened, but I feel attracted to you all the time. If you want work, I won't stop you, but you will have to work in my office. Our office. Jennifer replied, I really don't know what to say. I'm surprised by what you say. Newton said, Refresh yourself. I want to take you out. Let's have some fun. But she said, Not today. I'm really tired. Maybe next time. Newton replied, Okay, tomorrow then. Go freshen up so you can rest. Jennifer just smiled. Newton just fell in love with me now, while I had loved him for a long time, she thought. He will never find out that I love him. Let's stress it out a little for my aunts and uncles, who sold me here to suffer. I pity them. They only sold me from here to paradise. The next day, Newton took Jennifer shopping for good clothes, shoes, wigs, and bags. Jennifer was very happy with her husband's attention. Later that evening, they both went out. Newton, in front of her, proposed to her with a ring. The place was full of people. Newton said, Jennifer, will you marry me? And she laughs, No, we are already married. Newton replied, Sorry, will you be my love? Will you love and cherish me like your husband? She laughs again. You only know how to talk about business. That's not how you make a marriage proposal. Newton said, I'm sorry, I'm in love with you. Are you in love with me too? She picked him up and kissed him. Let's go home. I'm tired of laughing, and I'm also tired from the other 2 purchases we made. Newton said, Okay, but there are so many people watching us. At least take the ring. Jennifer held out his finger for him to put the ring on and said, Thank you very much. Everyone around applauded them as they returned home. Newton says, You almost made a fool of me at the mall tonight. Please don't remind me of your annoying request. What do you want to eat so I can prepare it for you? Jennifer replied, I'm okay with the ice cream I had at the mall. Newton said, I don't want to eat anything. I'm angry with you. Newton went upstairs angrily, and Jennifer followed him. Can't I joke with you? Newton replied, Leave me alone. I want to sleep. Jennifer replied, Good night. I will sleep in my room downstairs. Newton replied, Good night. Don't talk to me tomorrow either. Jennifer added, My lovely husband is just angry tonight. Good night. I love you. Newton turned around and sat down. What did you say? Repeat it again. Jennifer replied, I thought you were sleeping. You're just funny tonight. Newton insisted. Say it again. Jennifer says, I love you, my lovely husband. Newton was so happy to hear this from Jennifer that he hugged her. Jennifer kissed her forehead, and they both slept peacefully that night. The next day, Newton took him to his company. Wow, this place looks beautiful. Do you work there or do you own it? Asked Jennifer. Newton replied, We own it, and starting tomorrow you will work here as an employee, but I won't pay you a cent. Jennifer replied, I would always rather work without pay than be bored at home. I will see your pretty face all day. Newton replied, You'll work here, and I'll be on the other side so we can concentrate, or you stay home. That suits me too. After showing Jennifer the place, they returned home. Meanwhile, Newton's mother called by video conference. I'm very angry with you too. Newton replied, Mom, what have we done? She said, You don't want to give me grandchildren. Give me your wife. Jennifer replied, Good evening, Mom. When are you coming back? Newton's mother says, I'm not coming back until I see a picture of my grandchild. Why didn't you give me a grandchild? Jennifer replied, He's your son. He's not ready for a baby yet. He refuses to touch me. Newton's mother said, Give him the phone. I want to see his face. Newton refused. That's not true. I'm ready for children. His mother said, I don't know what you two are saying, but I'll give you a year. I want a grandchild. Your father and I will come back in a year, and we want to carry our grandchild. Jennifer replied, Mom, consider it done. Good night. After they finished talking to Newton's mother, they hung up. Newton said, "Why did you tell my mother I refused to touch you? Why did you promise him a child in a year?" Jennifer replied, "Have you ever touched me before? Are you hoping I initiate romance? I expected you to touch me." Newton said, "If you wanted it, why didn't you tell me? I don't want to do anything to hurt you, that's why I'm taking things slowly," Jennifer replied. Another unromantic sentence. "Come here. When I start, you will get tired and ask me to stop." Newton grew closer to his wife that night, and they were both intimate for the first time. Jennifer and Newton have taken their business to new heights, surpassing others in their industry. They not only expanded their business, but also opened branches in different regions. They returned to Jennifer Village to collect his parents' belongings, which had been sold by their relatives. Upon seeing Jennifer, those close to him were surprised by her radiant beauty. They expected her to suffer alongside Newton, but their assumptions proved wrong. Despite their pleas for forgiveness, Jennifer ignored his aunts and uncles because of the ordeals they had put him through. Newton also set up part of his business in the village of Jennifer, naming it after his parents. Later, Jennifer discovered she was pregnant and gave birth to a son resembling his father. When Newton's family returned after a long absence, they were delighted to meet their grandchild. Jennifer's uncles and aunts had hoped to ruin her by forcing her into an unwanted marriage, but it ended up working in their favor. Newton and his family lived happily ever after.